Well, now it's Saturday morning and we're going to start working on the cylinders. You can see I set up a little tank with a valve in order to feed oil in as I'm honing. So we're going to give it a try, see how it works. Now we'll do number 3. I think I put the stones in wrong. It's been so long since I've used this. Oh, now I remember. It's been so long since I've used it. There's an X. It shows you which ones. I just remembered that. Where they're supposed to go in. You know you're getting older when you have stuff you've used over and over again. And then time went by and you forgot how you used it. Now it's turning the right way to tighten too. That'll make it work better. Now we'll see how that one looks. I'm going to go a little bit more on that one. Well, you won't be able to see now my tank is in the way, but that's what it's got to be. So give it a go on number 2. Well, number 4, number 3, number 2. You can see where the rusting was in there. And number 1. Number 1 appears to have a little bit more wear in the cylinders than the other ones. I mean, measuring it would tell for sure. But I don't want to take out any more than necessary. I'm probably going to go in them next with the ball hone and see how they look. But I'm sure they're going to be just fine. Well, here I am again. I'm going to finish cleaning up the cylinders on the Farmall. It's a couple days late, a few days later now. It's Tuesday morning. And I couldn't find my ball hone that was the correct size. So I'm making do with a smaller one. And I zip tied a piece of foam and some emery cloth to it. You'll see how it goes in the cylinder. It ain't as good, but it'll do the job for this. see how it looks. That's looking pretty darn good. That'll be good for this application. Now we'll do the rest of the cylinders. Well, I think that'll do it. We'll look closer. I'm not sure how good you can see them. Number 4, number 3, number 2 definitely has pitting, but it'll be fine like that because I can't really remove too much material out and make the cylinder too oversized. And number 1 appears to have the most ridge gap from the rings, but I think all of them will be fine. Now that I have the cylinders cleaned up, I think I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to clean up here, and before I start to put the engine back together, I want to try and get the clutch released to come free, because I've never worked on one of those, and if the engine would have to come out, now would be the time to do it. It'd be lighter, and also while the crankshaft turns so freely, I'm going to be checking the magneto for spark. So that's what I'm going to do next. Well, I haven't done a single thing to the mag. Does anyone out there think it whatsoever would have a chance of having any spark without touching it? So let's see what happens. No, nothing. Let's try it again. Nothing. I guess first we'll look at cleaning the points. Now I still haven't done anything, but I decided I'd engage the impulse, because this has an impulse where you have to engage it for the impulse to work. Now we're going to try the impulse. And look at that, it has spark. So I'm not even going to touch the mag at this point. Well, now I'm going to start on the clutch. I'll be crawling underneath and taking off the hand inspection because, well, the clutch doesn't release. But I've read that this, I believe, that what I've read is the timing hole for the timing mark, and mice like to climb in there and pack the clutch full of mouse nests, which is terrible. It's so corrosive, and I'm suspecting I'll find at least some in there, because since I stick my finger in there and I can feel mouse nest. So I'm going to pull the cover off and see what it looks like in there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's an inspection cover for the clutch. I'm going to take it back, but I'm going to try and stay back and reach, because I'm sure mouse nest is going to fall out on me. Well, here it goes. Okay. Well, some fell out. There it is. But I'm sure it could have been packed full a lot worse. Well, I'm gonna have to get that cleaned out, and I'll maybe try and get some light so you can see better. According to the engine number, this should be a 1927, and from the research, it has a multiple disc clutch in it, and I still haven't gotten it to release. I have tapped on the plates in the clutch, trying to shake them a little loose, and I have also put a come along on the wheel and to keep it from turning, and put pressure on the crank. So I have the clutch released, pressure released right now, and I have this tension on it. So I doubt that it'll pop loose overnight or with a little time, but I'm going to keep tension on it and keep tapping on it. So that's where I am at this point. I'm still going to try and get the clutch loose before I put the engine back together.